Okay, listen up, guys. The human character is tested every time you put them under pressure. Someone with a lot of talk and not real work and action immediately quits when they're put under a challenging situation. Pressure reveals your true character. Adversity introduces a man to himself. When things are going well, anyone can act like a rock star. When the stock market hasn't plummeted for 5 years straight, everyone thinks that they're the master of the universe. They know everything about the stock market. But then it takes one market correction to weed out the weak ones and the pretenders. I have seen this over and over and over in real estate. When the market is responding really well, people falsely assume that they now are qualified to build $1 billion real estate empire without studying their craft, without knowing ins and outs about investing. Let me tell you this, guys. The bull market never builds the perspective. Bull market never builds character. You don't study your game, you don't study your craft, and you're seeing 10 to 15% capital growth on your investments every single year. You're riding on your own self-created hype. When the market collapses, however, pretenders and amateurs almost immediately hit the panic button, and the first thing they want to do now they want to liquidate their assets. While people with sound knowledge, experience, and perspective hold on to their investments. It takes extra study, experience, and well-rounded perspective to hold on to your investments when everyone around you, including the media, is saying bad things about your choice of investments. Why am I talking about investments? Because your expertise and commitment to your work, your craft, your field, and your game is tested every time there are strong opponents against you. During the time of extreme difficulties. Understand this. When you squeeze an orange juice comes out of it. But when you put pressure on rotten tomato, what really comes out of it is rotten tomato juice. So whenever you want to measure the heart and the character of someone, put them through a difficult situation and wait for the reaction and response to the adversity. Let me ask you this. How do you respond to your colleagues when they haven't achieved their targets for 5 months straight? And now your job is on the line because of that. Did you take any responsibility, any ownership and accountability of their bad performance as a leader of the business? Or you just throw your own people under the bus because now you're more concerned about your seat at the table? Try this if you're a manager or a business leader of some sort. And if you have someone in your company, in your team who are performing well for a longer period of time, in spite of giving them all the training and all the support, in spite of giving them all the tools and all the counseling and coaching, and now you are confused if you still want to keep them on the team or you want to get rid of them. I've tried this hundreds of times and it has worked pretty much all the time. I basically pull them aside for one last time and I look them into the eye and give that person a final warning, final ultimatum. I tell them, I have done everything in my power to help you achieve your goals, to improve your performance. I've given you all the counseling, all the strategies, all the training, but still, we haven't seen any progress. Now I'm running out of the options, so it's all up to you if you want to keep your job or not. You have 1 month to produce the results, to produce your targets. And if you can't get the results, even after all this training and counseling, then this isn't working for both of us. We both are wasting our time. And I won't have any option, any choice but to let you go. The moment you say something like this, you'll get to witness two kinds of behavior. One would be from people who would usually fire themselves before you fire them. They don't want to work hard. They don't want to work extra hard, go extra mile every day. They don't respond well when they're put under pressure. They don't like the feeling of being watched. And why won't they put up with all this nonsense of working extra hard for an hour every day for about a month when the chances of losing their job is extremely high anyway? They usually, even before the next performance review, they walk into your office and they fire themselves. They usually fire themselves. This has happened every single time. The moment you raise the standards, the moment you raise the stakes, and the moment you demand more, they quit. On the contrary, the other breed of people whom you really want to be part of your team, they get more determined and resolute in the face of adversity, in the face of challenging times. They basically have a completely different conversation with themselves than the earlier category of people. They are more grateful that they still have a month to prove themselves. They still have a month to produce their targets and achieve the results. They show up early, they work even harder. They're the first one to show up and the last one to leave. They now are more focused than they've ever been in their entire life. They're now making those extra calls to radically change the results. They perform their best when they have their back against the wall. These guys eventually get through. These guys eventually become your most value-adding asset. These guys become your greatest assets and allies. Some people take off the moment things start to get a little harder. They want to drive an expensive car provided they don't have to work extremely hard to achieve that. They want to stay at the same job as long as things stay easy and predictable. The moment things get a little demanding, they are out. But then you have people who shine their best when things are challenging and difficult. They don't want to compete in their space. They absolutely want to dominate their area of expertise. So let me ask you this. How are you going through what you're going through right now? Are you tapping out way before your time, or are you getting stronger in the midst of this storm? Leverage your struggles and challenges and your pain to your advantage. Use the pressure to build those mental muscles.